I just washed my makeup brushes, and a lot of people always ask me what makeup brushes you need to get, so I'll show you which ones I use all the time. The only thing I will say about this is it depends on what you're doing. So you might not need all these brushes, you might need more, you might need different ones. My biggest advice is once you find one you like, get multiples of that because you're probably be able to do a lot with it. So these are all of the brushes I use all the time. And without a doubt, like these are all from NARS. This is the NARS like 42 brush, but this shape of brush is what I use most often. And as you can see, it's 3 sizes, but it's the exact same shape. So a lot of these, I use these for laying down like my main eyeshadow color in the crease for blending. They're just really, really versatile brushes. You could also use them for concealer, for highlight, all sorts of things on the face. And next up are these. This kind of the classic is the MAC 217, but I have, or actually this is the MAC 217. This is the Sigma E25, and this is a Delium Tool 776. They're all sort of the same thing, and they are also a fluffy brush, but when you turn them, they're a little flat. So you have more of this rectangle shape, whereas these brushes were very round. I like this for crease work. It's sometimes the outer corner, sometimes blending out underneath the eye, but they're usually too big for that. Again, also really good for concealer and highlight. I have a ton of these duo fiber brushes, so that means there's duo, 2 kinds of fibers, and I pretty much use these for cream products, blending out eye preps, blending out concealer, any cream highlighter, any cream like bronzer, contour. We've had a lighting change. It's gorgeous. I have a lot of these double-ended brushes. I mainly use these for travel because when I travel, I have a little container that these sit in nicely. On my makeup table, they sit in a jar, so that wouldn't work for these. But these are actually all the Makeup by Mario brushes. This is a Stila brush. Really great if you are traveling, but also for like if you're doing a powder here, but also a powder here. So maybe the same product, but you want to get different areas of the face. You can do a lot with a double-ended brush. I always have a couple of massive powder brushes. This is Kevyn Aucoin, and this one's BK Beauty. I like to use them like a powder puff. With a powder puff, for example, you kind of press and roll. You can do that sort of same action with the brush, but you're going to get a lot less concentrated product because this is so soft and fluffy. Another lighting change. I have a few oddly shaped brushes, right? This kind of comes to a point. This one is an angle. This is this Rare Beauty concealer brush. I love sort of these triangle pointy shaped brushes, really for getting in corners of things. Maybe you're trying to sharpen up an edge. So let's say you have your concealer and you want to tap out the end of that eyeshadow. Something with a sharper edge is going to be good for that. This is really good for specific bronzer placement, and I love this too for like powder right in here. And then last but not least, I have my fancy brushes. They're all from Wayne Goss, with the exception of this one's from NARS, and it's just a really beautifully made brush. It's honestly no different than this MAC 113, but the construction's beautiful. So I take extra good care of it, and I use this for very light application of usually highlighter, but obviously you can use this for powder, blush, bronzer, whatever. And my Wayne Goss brushes are probably my favorite. This is, I have an airbrush around here somewhere. That is the most amazing brush. I have his 27 synthetic. This is a 14 that I use for really light powder. You can do a ton of eye detailing with his smaller pointy brushes. This is my favorite brush for going right under the eye on this area where I just do a teeny little bit of powder. I literally will tap this in the powder, tap it right here, and it's the only thing I use this brush and the powder for. And it is, I have to have it. It's like makes a massive difference. And then this is his 11 brush. This is my absolute favorite bronzer brush of all time. So that's some of my brushes. Let me know if you have any of your favorites, and I always love checking out new brands.